Good morning and welcome to Morning Moments, whatever platform you're watching and listening to this on and in. Uh, Today I have from Kentucky a award-winning recording artist and singer and vocalist. I am my pleasure to bring to Morning Moments Angela Seng. Welcome to Morning Moments.
Thanks for having me.
Uh, Thank you for being with us. And let me just ask you the question I ask everybody. As you can tell us what's going on with you by answering, what do you do and why do you do it?
Okay, well, actually, my ministry is multifaceted. I am a singer, songwriter. I write children's books, and I restore Barbie dolls from used to like new condition. And we send those out with missionaries and mission teams all around the world. And the reason that I do what I do is I want to make an eternal difference. I'm not talking about just a smile for now. I want to impact someone's life for eternity. And the way to do that is to introduce them to Christ. And so God's given me a unique ministry with the doll ministry to do that, because with these Barbie dolls, they are tools in the missionaries' hands. And once the missionaries get a hold of these dolls, for example, in Honduras, they make approximately $4 a day. Barbie dolls are $10. So you're looking at 2.5 days pay for a Barbie doll, for a child in Honduras to have a Barbie doll. That's just a normal Barbie doll. We're not talking about a collectible edition or something like that. It's not something that they would ever buy for their child. So when I am able to provide these with the missionaries, it helps them to get into homes and speak to the parents about Christ. And I've been told by the missionaries that with these dolls, that it opens the door, because when you can provide something for their children, that you're showing interest in their child, they will listen to what you have to say all day. We've had Barbie dolls that have been used to minister to children living on the streets in Kosovo. We've had them given out to orphanages and hospitals, schools. There's so many stories that we have from the doll ministry, and it's just a blessing, each and every one of them. One of them came from a girl in Africa. She was a teenager. And once again, most of these children don't have much of a childhood. So by the time they're at the teenage years, many of them are working like adults. So the missionaries never know for sure if the teenagers are going to want the Barbies. But this particular girl in Africa, she wanted this Barbie doll. And what they didn't realize was her dream was to be a dressmaker. And she needed that Barbie doll to pursue her dream. So when the missionaries were able to give her that Barbie doll, I was told that this girl made that doll a new dress that afternoon. It's just incredible stories like that. We've had them given out through a ministry that ministered to people that would go to a dump. And basically they would dig through the trash to try to find things that they could sell to earn money for their families. We've had them given out to children who lost a parent due to murder, and it provided comfort for the child. We had another instance where a Barbie doll was used by God to bring a family back together. The adults were estranged from each other, and the missionary had given the little girl a Barbie doll. The mother thought the doll came from the father, and it softened her heart, and the family got back together. I mean, God has just used these dolls in ways that I could have never imagined. I grew up and I loved playing Barbie dolls. That's just my thing. I loved dolls. I loved to sing and I loved to shop, and I love to play with Barbie dolls. And I never imagined that God would use all those things when I was an adult for a ministry, and yet he has. I got saved at 5 years old. I was at a singing at a very small church, and there was a lady in this group called the Songmasters, and her name was Deborah. I thought she had the most beautiful voice, and I wanted to grow up to sing just like her. Well, years later, I was able to run into Deborah, and I come to realize that the Deborah from that singing group when I was a child is Deborah Talley of the Talley Trio. And she was in the service the night that I got saved. And I was able to tell her how that her voice and her ministry had impacted my life as a child. And so here I am years later out singing. And it's just been an incredible journey. The Barbie doll ministry is one of the things that I'm well known for. And between my mom and I, we've actually transformed approximately 3,000 Barbies. And these Barbie dolls have been delivered to 6 of the 7 continents around the world. So one little story I've got to share is from a little girl from Honduras, and her name was Jocelyn. And she had seen a Barbie doll video at a friend's house. Because like I said, in Honduras, they may have videos, but they didn't really have toys. Even the boys may play with sticks or rocks. And so we do provide Hot Wheels cars for the boys, just a little tad bit of information. But Jocelyn had seen this Barbie on a video, and she'd picked out the one that she wanted. And she waited. Well, my friend who actually works on my website, it was his first trip to Honduras, and God has called him now to be a missionary to Honduras. But at the time, it was his first trip, and I begged him to take some Barbie dolls. Well, let me tell you, him being the manly man that he is, that was no easy task. He said, there is no way TSA is going to find a Barbie doll in my luggage. So I wrapped them creatively in backpacks, and he took 2. Well, one of these dolls actually came from my aunt's estate. And it just so happened that God used this little doll from my aunt's estate. It happened to be the doll that she had seen in the Barbie video. So when Tim approached this little girl, she was 3, and he gave her this Barbie. He said this shy little girl instantly exclaimed, "This is the doll from the video I saw." She said, "I have wanted one of these my whole life and couldn't realize why I could not have one." Well, let me tell you, Jocelyn is a lot older now. And when the pandemic hit, my friends who are missionaries, Tim Atterbury and Ashley Abel, they were stuck in Honduras during the pandemic and could not get back to the States. God used them to help deliver food to multiple villages, multiple times. I mean, they raised $50,000 in funds and were able to provide for these people. It was just incredible. Well, Jocelyn, the little girl that got the Barbie, she was out helping them deliver the food and hand sanitizer and everything. It's just incredible to see how that God has used them. I will show you briefly. This doll is kind of one that I just picked up from a yard sale. She's not in too bad a shape. The hair's a little rough, but really with just a little tender loving care, she will be ready to go out with the missionaries. And what we do is we wrap them like this. This is a Ziploc bag with a rubber band X'd across it. What happens is when they travel with the missionaries, most of them will fly, and this can get shifted around in the luggage and the hair stays intact and it is ready and brand new. And then in many of these places, they love the Ziploc bags too, because if they have rice or beans or something like that, they can use the bag to store the items. And so it's a win-win for the people. This is one of my books that I've written. It's called Ashley's Adventures. And it's got a lot of information about the doll ministry. This one is Traveling with Tim into the Mission. And they both have the plan of salvation in them, because I think that's important that the children know how to be saved. After all, I got saved at 5 years old. So I know if a 5-year-old can understand it, that anybody can grasp the plan of salvation. So that's pretty much what I do and why I do it.
Well, Angela, what I'm going to do is down below in the comment section and also throughout this video, you're going to see pictures and websites how to get a hold of her. And if you want to know more about what she's doing with the Barbie restoration, isn't it great knowing that God could even restore Barbie, and God's restoration and Barbie's physical being. If you've been restored spiritually, maybe that's something you want to get involved with and help Angela. Please get a hold of her. Also, check out her music. She hasn't mentioned anything about her music. She's an award-winning singer. Check out her music. Check out her concerts where she's going to be at. And also maybe check to see how you can be involved. Where can you send used Barbies, and she'll let you know all that when she's connected, when you get connected. So down below, I'll put that information down for you. It is just amazing when you hear how God will speak to somebody's heart, and in one area that's your passion, usually God's purpose is found within that. Here's somebody had a passion for collecting Barbies even as a child, and God has used that passion to fulfill his purpose in people's lives around the world. So thank you so much for joining us with Morning Moments. Angela, we'll put that information down, and we'll hopefully get people to connect with you, hear your music, and also get behind some of the passion and calling that you have for the Great Commission by using things like a Barbie. Thank you so much for joining us for Morning Moments.
Thank you.
And after the session is over, and please, those who watch Morning Moments know exactly what I'm going to do. I'd like for you to take some time and pray for Angela and her ministry, not only her singing ministry, but her ministry that's reaching countless people around the world through her act of kindness with the Barbies. Pray for her. Angela needs a prayer, and you need the practice. Pray that God would continually bless her in what she does. Thank you, Angela, and thank you for joining us for Morning Moments. And if you would, please keep coming back, and may God richly bless you.